and after the event, Zoom, so that their certificate of participation can be generated. Also, don't forget, those joining from Nigeria, we have other students from different universities that are joining us for this event. Like we mentioned yesterday, the event comprises of different universities and NGOs. So this is a very good uh, time or opportunity for you to be able to network, do have friends around the globe, for you to be able to, network yourself so that one day you can be able to have a very good research in collaboration with other universities. Additionally, as part of the requirement for the project, I mentioned earlier that yesterday we still have the second part of base university responsibilities, which is having to develop an online or on-demand courses that you are expected to enroll. So this is a very good advantage for you to be able to have additional professional courses or a certificate that showcases that you have completed a program that is being organized by 6 different universities across the globe. So this is a very wonderful opportunity, which personally, yesterday, one of my staff met me that he need to have this certificate, which I laid down all the process for enrollment as well as attainment of the program. So thank you very much for joining us. And I want to acknowledge some of the participants online. We have Professor Solomon, who is the principal investigator, or I can put it in a simple way that he is in charge of the program. So thank you very much for joining us. Also, we have Tommy from SEMRI, who is the uh, main co-chair, or I can say she's the one managing the open facilitated discussion, which is being organized by SEMRI. So thank you for joining us, and let me use this to also acknowledge some of the universities and the NGOs that are connected with us. So without wasting much time, I believe we are going to start the program by inviting Dr. Hamza for his presentation before we have uh, Dr. Nasser and Mr. Yusuf, who are going to come for us to have a dialogue discussion, just like the one we have yesterday. But don't forget, today is focusing on AI, which is how AI can be used in order to address issues around climate change. That means today we are going to discuss on how do we apply AI in adapting ways that we've discussed yesterday, processes that can be implemented in addressing climate change issue. So thank you very much, physical participants and those online. And forgive me for those that I haven't called your name. We need to work with time. And thank you so much. Dr. Hamza, please. Yes, your slides, yeah. Okay, you want to sit? Okay. All right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Abdul. My name is Hamza Machudo from Base University. Our discussion today is going to center around AI for sustainability. What AI is, what sustainability is, how we can use AI to accelerate sustainable development, the challenges in also using AI for accelerating sustainable development. Slide. Okay, for a quick background before the slide comes up, I would like to give a background on our discussion for today. So the world currently is at a crossroad. We need to rapidly change course from the current path of carbon intensive and resource depletion growth and pivot towards a sustainable future where people and nature can thrive. So we have just a small time to be able to achieve this, because building a sustainable future will require transformative changes and pace that is needed to achieve that. The era of AI is just unfolding or has been unfolding for many years, and we believe, or we're going to go through our discussion for today on AI for sustainability. Now, we've been talking about sustainability. What does sustainability mean? It means the ability for meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability for the future generations to meet their own needs. And it encompasses three key areas: the environmental area, which is protecting natural resources, ecosystems, reducing carbon footprint, and managing natural resources responsibly. Then the social area, which is promoting social equity, community well-being, and human rights. And then the last area is the economical area, which is the ability to foster economic stability, promoting sustainable growth, and ensuring equitable distribution of wealth and resources. And sustainability is very important because it addresses global issues such as climate change, resource depletion, and social inequality. So by balancing environmental, social, and economic systems, it builds a future that can endure over the long time. So challenges of sustainability and the need for change. The world faces critical challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, biodiversity loss, social inequality. So if we have been noticing, we've been having rising global temperature and extreme weather events and shift in climate patterns, which are disrupting ecosystems and human communities, leading toward food insecurity, displacement, and loss of biodiversity. That is in terms of the challenge of climate change, resource depletion, overexploitation of natural resources such as water, forest, and minerals is leading to such shortages and environmental degradation. And biodiversity loss leads toward unsustainable agricultural, industrial, and urban development practices, which are pushing many species toward extinction, threatening ecosystem balance. And the last one under critical sustainable challenges is social inequality. So the unequal distribution of wealth and resources that brings about burden and marginalized communities, widening the gap between the rich and the poor. Now, we're going to talk about, because this is also very important in our discussion for today, the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs in short. These were established by the United Nations as a shared blueprint for addressing global challenges, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, and peace. So there are 17 in number that includes no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one is partnership for the goals. So these are very important, and some of them are really related to our discussion for today. Yes. So, but I believe it's very important that we mention the 17 Sustainable Development Goals so that we all know them. Now, let's delve into AI. Let's have a brief introduction of what AI is, so that we can all understand when we start discussing the intersection between AI and sustainability. AI refers basically to machines and systems capable of performing tasks, multi-layered neural network to model and solve complex problems like prediction, optimization, modeling, and modeling, sorry. We have fuzzy logic, which allows AI to handle uncertain or imprecise information. We also have genetic algorithm, when AI mimics the process of natural selection to find optimal solutions. We have knowledge representation and reasoning, when AI systems that represent and reason with knowledge can solve complex, sustainable problems by incorporating expert knowledge into decision-making tools. We have cognitive computing, when AI systems simulate human thought processes that leads toward enhancing decision-making in sustainability challenges. So for the intersection of AI and sustainability, we already know that artificial intelligence is an essential tool to facilitate the rapid changes necessary for sustainability. It can significantly impact various sectors, helping in the addressing global challenges such as climate change and resource depletion, like we've been talking about. AI is a vital tool in sustainability, or in fast-tracking sustainable development, but it is not a silver bullet, meaning it is not the solution or the confirmed solution for sustainable development or lack of sustainable development that we are talking about. So AI is actually built by humans to perform complex tasks. When applied responsibly, it can help in fast tracking, simplifying, and making tasks easier for humans. So for example, optimizing supply chain, AI can analyze data related to material sourcing, manufacturing, and logistics to identify environmentally friendly methods. And then the impact is enabling companies to minimize their carbon footprint and reduce waste. Okay. So sustainability has bottlenecks that we need to understand before we can further try to incorporate AI into trying to fast track sustainable development. So what are these bottlenecks? Number one is global challenges that include what? Rising temperature, frequent floods and droughts, biodiversity loss, insufficient pace of change. And then we have some key bottlenecks that are very important, like slow and expensive development of sustainability solutions, complexity of sustainability systems, and growing sustainability skill gaps. So, so what we are going to talk about how AI accelerates sustainability solutions. We have there's an urgent need by 2030 for global battery capacity to increase by 90 times to meet the growing demand for renewable energy storage and electric vehicles. So this massive increase is necessary to store energy generated from solar and wind, which are intermittent and depend on weather conditions. There's also carbon intensity in steel production. So the intensity of steel production needs to drop by 25%. We also have carbon removal capacity. That is, in addition to removing emissions, the world must also significantly ramp up its carbon removal capacity. So these are the urgent needs that needs to be achieved by 2030. How can AI be able to accelerate these achievements before 2030? So for example, let me give an example in how AI can be used to in crop improvement. So climate change is putting immense pressure on the global food supply. How is that happening? With rising temperatures, unpredictable weather patterns, and frequent droughts. These are the factors making it harder for traditional crops to survive and thrive. And what is the solution to this problem? To be able to create or develop or grow climate resilient crops that can withstand these changes in environmental conditions. So what's the role of AI in this? So AI is being used by researchers to analyze vast amount of genetic data and environmental information to identify genetic markers that make certain plants more resilient to climate stress. Uh, Traditional crop breeding methods can take many years, but AI significantly it can speed up the process by predicting by predicting how plants will respond to factors like drought, heat, and soil degradation. So for the issue of battery development, meeting that capacity by 2030, AI can be able to accelerate the development of these technologies by using machine learning models to evaluate millions, if not billions, of potential battery materials in a fraction of the time. So if the current way we do it, traditional method, it will take you many years to be able to evaluate thousands of methods, or chemical combinations on how to produce the most efficient and most effective battery for our electric vehicles and other systems. Sorry, go back. Yeah. So in terms of managing complex systems, AI can manage interconnected systems, like we mentioned earlier, in terms of supply chains and electricity grids, to be able to provide a more efficient way in managing or in developing these sectors. And then lastly, the last problem is skills gap in sustainability. So AI can be able to, as a tool, can assist as a virtual assistant in terms of providing valuable information and guidance to humans and processes to be able to achieve sustainable development. So how AI accelerates sustainable development in terms of infrastructure limitations, also in terms of data quality and availability, cost and accessibility of AI technologies. So there is a need for improvement of infrastructure, because the way AI technologies is expanding necessitates robust hardware and data infrastructure capable of supporting complex computations and large-scale data analysis, enhancing of data centers and networks, and also there are also scalability issues because of the infrastructure limitations. This can lead to scalability issues where the implementation of AI solutions is slow or ineffective due to inadequate support systems. In terms of data quality and availability, the importance of accurate data contributes heavily to the success of AI models, because inaccurate or incomplete data can lead to flawed analysis and ineffective solutions. What leads to lack of data quality and availability? We have factors like data collection challenges, because collecting high quality data can be challenging due to factors such as cost, logistics, and the lack of established monitoring systems in many regions. So addressing these challenges requires investment in data collection technologies such as sensors and remote sensing. Another factor that leads to lack of data quality and availability is data sharing and collaboration. So if we are going to be promoting data sharing and collaboration between organizations, government, and research institutions, This can enhance the quality and availability of data for AI applications. The last one is, sorry, no, the previous slide, the previous one. Yeah, cost and accessibility of AI techniques or technologies. So implementation of AI technologies often involves significant cost, including hardware, software, and ongoing maintenance. This can be a barrier for many organizations, especially small and medium-sized enterprises. Another factor to cost and accessibility is limited accessibility. So accessibility to AI technologies is uneven, with wealthier nations and organizations often benefiting more than those in less developed areas. The last factor is affordable AI solutions. So we need to develop affordable and scalable AI solutions that can help democratize access to these technologies, enabling broader participation in sustainability initiatives. So we've heard how AI has been able to accelerate sustainable development. We also need to understand that there are also implications of AI on resource usage and emissions. So basically, in terms of AI resources such as infrastructure, needs energy, and also water, which are some of the problems in terms of sustainability that we currently face in the world. So to understand how AI uses water, so AI particularly in areas that involves large-scale data processing and machine learning requires significant computational power, which translates to high water usage because of the data centers that within the AI infrastructure that host AI models and perform extensive computations. So this often utilizes large amounts of water for cooling systems to maintain optimal operating temperature. And this has been having impact on water resources because the water consumption of data centers can contribute to a local water scarcity, especially in regions like our country, Nigeria, because as AI continues to grow across various sectors and across the country, the demand for water resources in these centers is likely to increase. How can we use AI to reduce water usage? So it can play a significant role in addressing water scarcity by promoting efficient water usage across various industries like smart irrigation systems, leak detection, and water quality monitoring. So can you move back to the okay. AI and energy use. Just as AI uses water in terms of being able to achieve its aim, it also makes use of energy because the AI global energy footprint is, we can say it is relatively small. Its demands can become significant in specific contexts, especially where AI technologies are heavily implemented. Data centers which support AI require substantial energy for operations and cooling, leading to localized energy challenges. So for context, Let us compare the energy consumption of AI applications like ChatGPT in minimal uh, area compared to other sectors. So, if you look at the energy consumption of ChatGPT, it's really relatively minimal comparing to other energy consumptions within other sectors. So, for example, the electricity consumption by ChatGPT globally is equivalent to just 1 minute of United States television consumption. So, just the energy consumed by televisions in the United States is uh, equivalent to the energy consumed by ChatGPT that is being used globally by billions of people. In terms of emissions of using AI, we have both the direct emissions from AI and
This is my data, right? And I want you to understand that these are students, individual students with their examination based on semester. Now, the next time you want to use an AI system, you have to tell the AI that, okay, I want to be able to understand a student that performed very well in this semester. Also, at the same time, based on their first semester, second semester, I want you to predict what will happen next semester. So the AI is working based on the existing data you have stored in the system. So fundamentally, to understand an AI is a kind of a human, right, or a kind of machine that imitates what humans are doing. For example, if you are my student, you didn't come to class today, you didn't come to class tomorrow, you didn't come to class for a month, automatically I can be able to predict that you're going to fail my examination. So that's how AI works. It's based on data given to the AI or given to the models, and that is how the models can work. I have questions online, which somebody asked. So somebody is asking, how can government contribute towards AI? How AI can be, how government can encourage individuals to use AI? Well, let me tell you the truth. Before, I doesn't know about policy. I doesn't know much about policy making. But when I participated in national policy development, I understand that even policy are developed based on bias, based on my understanding, based on the next person understanding. So what government can do at a larger scale is only to develop a policy. Government can develop a policy on how AI can be used. And also in Nigeria, I believe like NIFTA and Federal Ministry of Information and Technology have been conducting a lot of training on encouraging people to learn more about AI. A simple example, at Baylor University currently, I believe we have a lot of students who are from our IDS program that are participating in this training. So these are the kind of support that government can give in order to individuals and companies to know what about AI. Like the IDS training, we have been on this training for the past 7 months at Baylor University. At its levels, have been conducting a lot of hackathons, a lot of workshops around AI and AI ethics. So government can do a little, but we as individuals and organizations will be the one to do much. Simply, just like the example I gave you of IDS project. Federal government just gave us a grant to train 900 students. But when we started the application, we see that we have around 150 Nigerians who want to study AI, want to learn more about AI, want to have a certificate or a professional diploma in AI, want to have a professional diploma in data analytics and cybersecurity and the rest. So we said, okay, instead of us now to focus on what the government have given us, let us invest on our physical infrastructure, add more resources to see how we can engage these individuals that have showcased that, okay, they need to know or they need to learn these professional or emerging technologies. And that is when we now insist that, okay, we must train all these young Nigerians because we want to know what's about it. And believe me, through this training, a lot of students have come to my office. Some told me that they have gotten job in Canada. One of them also got one job just because of the training. So it means supporting or educating Nigerians about AI usage cannot
be only a job of government. Rather, individuals have to contribute, private companies, universities, educational institutions have to make an effort to see how this AI or how AI knowledge can be extended, can be taught at a basic levels and advanced levels. Thank you. We have another questions online.
So Ashur online asks question of how can I use AI to enhance security of web application from the back-end development? So what AI can do for you is to just suggest or give you a template of security that you can use. But as a web application, your security is layers. So when you're building application, there is the way you structure your application and build the application. First of all, you need to know what are the private methods, what code or business logic do you need to hide when you are writing your application. First of all, then when you are exposing the application, you need to apply another security layer of anybody that is accessing it should use an HTTP or TLS certificate. So meaning you are not giving that application or you are not exposing that application to unrecognized some visitor or client that is accessing your application. So if you build an application from MTN now, we whitelist the client IP that is accessing our application. That is one security layer. So we don't have only one layer of security, we have multiple. And the day the security starts when you are writing the code. So there's the way you write your code, your source code cannot be hijacked, or someone stole your source code or reverse engineer it. That's number one. Then you move to the level of infrastructure. Where you deploy your application need to be secure on the server. You understand? You can't just deploy application and expose it or give access to everybody. Then that's where you now have, okay, do I need to whitelist the client's IP? That is, you are tightening your security apart from the access of the TLS handshake. TLS handshake helps the data transmission between your client to the server and the restaurant so that you don't have middleware hijacker or hacker get information. That's why if you're filling your form online or you are submitting any of your details, privacy, you see if you are doing all those things, you as a user are supposed to check if this URL or website has HTTPS so that when you are transferring your data, it's encrypted. So if there's any middle guy or hacker that hijack those data, he can't decrypt it or you don't know what you are sending. So that is how you can protect your web application or REST API as a backend developer. Make sure that you can ask ChatGPT this question, meaning assuming you don't even have idea or basic idea. It's something you can post to AI. AI will give you templates, give you idea how you can do it. Then you can do more research and how to apply it. And we have different levels. You can ask ChatGPT or AI that, okay, at level of even writing the code, how can I structure my code to be secure and standard, best practice? Then AI will give you a template. Then you move to deployment. How do I deploy my application to be secure? You understand? If AI again, ChatGPT will give you a template and how you can do it again. Then how can I secure my endpoint so that people that accessing my data will be secure? AI too will give you those templates again. Now you need the knowledge, as I said, or we all said earlier. We need to understand so that if AI is giving you something that is not standard, you're able to notice that, okay, this is not standard, let me tweak it and reverse engineer and make it the way it's supposed to. I hope this answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf. We have some participants. I don't know whether they're from Nigeria or from Turkey. It is specify their countries, but let's answer the questions. So somebody is asking how AI can be used to address issues around security. I mentioned earlier that at Bayes University, we have some solutions that integrate AI in order to help security. Let's take examples. A lot of students don't know that this auditorium that we are sitting will have almost 76 surveillance cameras installed. So what the cameras does, it has a lot of AI implemented issues. One of it is when there is an aggression, maybe somebody is trying to fight someone, we have a control center. From the control center, they can be able to detect that. That is why sometimes ago we had some bit of problems where some students were doing funny things, claiming it, the reason that it wasn't, it was those allegations. So when they are called to come to the control center, at the time that the instance happened, the security put a report. That means AI system can be used to address a lot of issues of security. Simply taking the example of what we have at Bayes University in terms of our classrooms, in terms of the gates and all the university premises. So we have an integrated surveillance system that has AI mechanisms that notify us when there is issues. Take examples, it's part of what I and my team work on. Issue around attendance. We have all attendance system around the university, so a lot of staff doesn't know the importance of that. That attendance system, what it's doing is, first when you put your thumbprint, you already have your data on our system. So when it keeps the attendance, we have an AI system that do compete and say that, okay, in a month, you are supposed to come so numbers of hours. When you didn't come, the AI can be able to look at the data, look at the patterns, and then advise you. But these are projects that have not been yet approved by the universities because I believe it is out, a lot of staff will lose their job. I believe few of us use our thumbprints during coming and closing hours, and even some academic staff. Because at every levels of lectures, maybe if I have 2 hours lectures, when I'm going to the lecture, so I'm supposed to use my thumbprint. When I'm done, I'm supposed to also capture my data, which I believe that doesn't do it. So that is why the project is still under review, because the implication of it, we are humans, right? So AI can be used to address a lot of challenges. At a national level, I can tell you a big story, but some of the informations are confidential. Issue around what we are having in Nigeria, issue of insecurity. You will imagine having a kidnapper in the middle of the bush, having access to internet, having access to a mobile device that he can go on TikTok, he can go on Telegram, send the pictures, send the location, and nothing has been done about it. So to address this, when you apply a lot of AI solution on this type of issues, it can be addressed. Now, I said I will tell you a confidential story. I was part of a committee, national committee, where we are tasked, experts from different universities in Nigeria, looking at the history of terrorism in Nigeria. I'm talking about applying AI. So we look at the data. When we look at the data, we are not developing AI. Rather, we are working on the data to look at the authenticity of the data in order to see how this challenge can be addressed with the help of artificial intelligence. In summary, what we come up with is a comprehensive solution that can take 10 good years to implement. So but we may ask ourselves in 10 years to come, a lot of people may have died, right? So AI systems can be implemented at every level, healthcare center, security, university levels. So AI can be applied almost everywhere. We have another question online. Any contribution from the audience? Sorry, I didn't introduce our chief librarian, Dr. James. I don't don't know if you have anything to add.
The question I would ask is, how come the with AI, you not be able to mention feedback directly wherever they are?
Okay, so the librarian is asking question, how can we use AI to locate or to locate kidnappers in the bush? Well, like I mentioned, we already submitted our report to the federal government, that's why I said it's confidential. It's for the federal government to decide. All the modalities, recommendations have been given for them to implement. Recently, I had the former Minister of Information Technology clearly mentioned that Nigerian issue in terms of insecurity is something that can be addressed if we want it. Well, as a minister, if you mentioned that myself is just part of committee to work on modalities to look at history of data of attack and all that. So it means, well, it's something doable, but it will take time. Our recommendation is the solution can be developed within 10 years, but that will take time. A lot of people will die, right? A lot of people will die. So, but what I think that can be done at a basic level, I have a friend who is supposed to be here as part of this program. He was telling me a short story about 3 to 4 years ago. He's a military contractor, and this is what he does. He already have a specialized forces that escorting when he's traveling from Abuja to Kaduna. So he has a drones that are powered with AI, and he has an escort that can go 4 to 5 kilometers ahead of him. The drone will fly. The drone has these weapon detection mechanisms. So if they fly and they see anything weapon, they will be notified that okay, there's weapon. And there are trained experts in the military who are very, very well trained, not even trained in Nigeria. So they can be able to counter those terrorists. So since the inception, have been applying the same mechanism. So tell me, if you have one individual with this capacity, with these concepts, to be able to fly a drone that can be able to detect weapons around the bush, then I believe the problem can be solved generally, but it will really take time. Thank you, sir.
So somebody online asked how policy can help. So it's the government's job, for example, they can decide to mandate every parastatal or agency that there must be manpower with capacity in AI working as a staff. Because I don't think that's the case right now. What does that mean? A lot of things are data driven now. Everything, what you just said about security is about collecting data, analyzing the data, and deciding what intervention. That's just what life is about. You collect data about a certain problem, you analyze what the problem is, the nature of the problem, and we're supposed to give workable and smart solutions for the problem. So if by policy the government mandates that people who are trained in this AI have to work there, because they have a lot of data. Are they analyzing the data? So for me, what I'm taking today away is how to use, I'm going to go back to my office to see how to actually identify AI tools that can help me analyze data. We collect a lot of data, but it's very difficult to analyze data. We have just like analytical ways and then maybe some simulation ways. But with AI, a computer will help you to analyze the data, not just to compute now. You know, if you tell it the formula, it has the formula and it has an idea of other formulae that can be used to analyze the same data which I never had access to. So imagine if people who have this knowledge are mandated by policy to be in these parastatals, maybe, just maybe you might see some light at the end of the tunnel. So that's one way that government can work with policy. Government might also be able to make a policy that every parastatal must work with research centers by law. So that, because right now what we have is we have research centers and they have their data and nobody has access to it, nobody's using it. So by law, it could be a policy that government will say, no, you have to go back to these agencies and work with them and use their data and allow them to help you with the research. Simply because the agencies might not have this capacity. So if the policy mandates you to do it, then you have to do it. It's part of your key performance indicator. So I mean, I'm just trying to talk about how policy can help.
Thank you. We have a few minutes to end the discussion. Also, before that, I want to remind our physical participants, please sign in to the Zoom link and share your emails and the group to mark your attendance for the certificate of participation. I would like to wrap up with two important recommendations or conclusion to yesterday's discussion and debate. That Munir and Shehu mentions issue around some people ask question online that militaries are causing a lot of issues. So how can we seize or how can we stop the military from going to war? Because they are causing a lot of issues. I think Prof. You mentioned, we discussed around this area this thing. Because if militaries do have nuclears, do have bombs and all that, discharging those weapons will cause a lot of issues around climate change. Let me tell you this, maybe a lot of people doesn't know. I started in the military for 15 years. Now this is the issue. Issue around military and the issue around climate change is two distinct problems. Addressing the problem is really very critical. Unless AI systems or advanced systems are used in the military, like if maybe you have time to go and do research around what the militaries, what the US government, what the Marines are using in terms of combating insecurity, in terms of going to the war. So this is a very delicate area that is really very difficult to address. But AI has a lot of role to play in not first. First is to make sure that weapons have been detected. Proliferation, bringing weapons into different countries, we stop. Because according to research, I did a research 5 years ago. It was a paper, but a paper that's not to be published for some certain reasons, security reasons. Now, the research showed that in Nigeria alone, every single day, we have a proliferation of small and medium weapons that, if it's counted, all these AK-47, pistol guns, and others, if you are to count and give statistics, 10 to 15 are coming in every day in Nigeria. And where are they coming from? From different borders. So the researchers recommend that to stop this, you need to have a very good AI-enabled system that can be able to look at this location, detect what is happening, and quickly take action. Because if you cannot stop that, it means weapons are coming every day, and you cannot stop people from using weapons. Thank you very much. I don't know if there is an addition or contribution to what I've said. Mr. Yusuf and Mr. Yes.
So a lot of power lies with you. Government is made up of people, truly. They work in offices, very normal looking people. So it's up to you to find problems worth solving. If you can identify a problem and identify a solution, that's all that we need. Everybody, if you can identify a problem worth solving within your field, and you identify a solution and you research it and you work it, and you actually make it a product that somebody will buy, that's all we need. 280 million Nigerians. Imagine if everybody is getting a solution for something. That's all we need.
So there's some student that has some platform that you can use for AI, that is with development. We have GitHub pilots, code pilots. We use that to assist us when you're writing a code. If within your code environment, you can ask simple question, maybe create a method for me, or write a simple method that you can implement, just copy, edit it, and you're good. What that helps you is that the code pilot, each of the pilot, help you to reduce time in development. So with that now you can have less time to focus on your business logic, you write it and you are done. You have the remaining time to focus on maybe, because nowadays maybe one job is not enough. You can use your other time to do other activity. Maybe you are working, and maybe working in the organization, and I have my startup. You understand? I'm looking for a way, and the time is too small. 24 hours a day is too small. So if you have a tool that can summarize what you are doing and move to the next agenda in your time, it's okay. So I advise the student just start using AI in your day-to-day activity, especially the engineering profession. It's very, very helpful. Another question is that the platform we have Tensor and other Azure AI that you can use. There's a lot, and I advise you to go on ChatGPT. It's free. Or some of these questions you are asking is there. You can ask those questions, and you get the answer and reference it too. So thanks.
So in conclusion, I would like to wrap up with some recommendations around addressing climate change with help of AI system. Before then, I'll give simple examples of how my village university, my local community, applying manual process, not using AI to address deforestation. Young guys around the village has turned cutting trees to become a business. So for the local government to address the issue, they apply one concept that is very important. First, using treatment. What they're doing is, when they cut off the tree, they believe that selling corn is a very good business. So they will dig down ground, put the tree inside, put fire on it, and it will become corn. And when it becomes a charcoal, they are now taking it to the market and selling it in a very, very, very good amount of money. So what the local government applied as a mechanism to address the issue was first to make sure that they have human surveillance, they have a surveillance team that look at the environment. One. So when you are caught doing one or two things, number one is they will tax you to buy trees. So that means you have cut down a tree, you are taxed to bring another tree. And part of their punishment is to make sure that that tree stands on its own. To be able to, that means if the tree is supposed to be taken care for 3 months, you must take care of that tree for 3 months so that the tree on its own can stand and grow. So if these kind of things can be implemented to address issues of deforestation, it will really help. But like I said, these things have to do with policy. If you don't have a good policy in place that can impose individuals to do this type of implementation, it will really be very difficult to address issues around climate change. And secondly, we have been talking about policy. This I'm happy We have been working on policy, AI policy, how AI can be used. So thank you very much all for attending these wonderful, often online facilitated dialogues. And I would encourage you to join other OMPs that are going to be organized by other universities. Be in our WhatsApp group, Telegram group, so that you can be able to be part of the next OMPs. Other universities are going to conduct their OMPs. Thank you very much. Thank you and thank you. Still go to the program. Or we take it there because this is a program. So let's take it here. Let's have a group photograph.